Sony has released a ton of cameras in recent years. Some of them really popular and some of them not so popular. And a lot of filmmakers are waiting for the Sony FX3 Mark II, but the camera I actually want more is the Sony A7C Mark III. Now, first off, this is not a leaks or rumors type of video. However, with the new release of the Sony A7 V, it only makes sense that the Sony A7C III will eventually follow if Sony sticks to their usual pattern. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Victor Melcher, a filmmaker. I love teaching what I've learned along the way, and I also like talking about cameras, so that's what we're gonna do today. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Sony's A7C lineup, the C actually stands for compact. It's essentially a smaller, more affordable version of the Sony A7 series, which is designed for hybrid shooters, meaning people that shoot a mixture of photos and videos. The Sony A7 III came out in 2018, which was followed by the release of the Sony A7C in 2020. Both cameras had the same exact sensor. The only difference is the A7C is a bit more compact, has a few less physical features, and is a couple $100s cheaper. Then the Sony A7 IV came out in 2021, which was followed by the release of the Sony A7C II in 2023. And now that the Sony A7 V is out, it makes sense to expect a Sony A7 III sometime down the line. Now, when the Sony A7C II first came out, I was able to get my hands on it for a little bit, and I actually really liked that camera, especially the compact form factor, the amazing image quality, and most importantly, the price. And I've mentioned this in a ton of other videos, but I really love my FX3. I love the image quality I get out of it. I love how great it is for solo filmmaking, especially. However, because this is a $4,000 camera, I almost never bring it with me when I'm out traveling. And my wife and I love traveling. We even have some trips we're taking this year. But again, because the FX3 is so expensive, if my camera got damaged while traveling, the cost to replace it is just way too high for me. And even though I loved the Sony A7C II, the only reason I never picked it up is because it shoots cropped 4K 60, which that is just a non-negotiable for me. However, with the new partially stacked sensor in the Sony A7 V that shoots uncropped 4K 60 and has a few other perks like slightly better dynamic range, if they continue the trend and put that same sensor into an A7C III, crop 4K 60 will no longer be an issue. That's something a lot of filmmakers, myself included, have been wanting in the more affordable line of Sony cameras, but until now they've only included it in more expensive cameras like the Sony FX3. Now, the reason I want a Sony A7C III over a Sony FX3 Mark II is mainly because of price and also my use case. I'd primarily use it to make YouTube videos, solo short films, and I want another camera that I can travel with. So with my use case in mind, whatever features they add into the Sony FX3 Mark II would most likely just be overkill for what I need it for. And right now, the only cameras I currently own are the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 and the Sony FX3. So if I got the Sony A7C III, that would be like a nice middle ground between both of these cameras. The A7C III would be a camera that I'd be comfortable traveling with. Because it has a viewfinder, I could experiment more with photography, and it would most definitely be more than enough for me to create my solo short films and create my YouTube videos. And as of right now in the States, the FX3 costs $4,000. So whenever the FX3 Mark II comes out, I can only assume that's gonna cost the same, if not more. Meanwhile, the Sony A7C II costs about $2,300. So hopefully the Sony A7C III sticks around that $2,500 price range, which would be a lot more ideal for myself and a lot of other filmmakers and creators out there. So that's the Sony camera that I'm actually most excited for in the future. Be sure to let me know which one that you're looking forward to, and I just want to say a huge thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.